What's up, Live Farmer 73 here, y'all. How y'all doing this morning? You know, I want to talk about something. You know what I'm getting sick of hearing? I'm getting sick of hearing the phrase, I was just doing my job. That got to be the weakest, most cop-out statement ever. You're trying to make an excuse for yourself for doing wrong and evil and wicked shit. And the only thing you can say is, I was just doing my job. Let me tell you something. Not only did God give you the right to choose and make decisions for yourself, but every time you get hired on a job, like the military or like the police or whatever it is, there's clauses in that documentation that you end up signing that tells you to act accordingly. They train you on how to make rational decisions on a dime. In the military and in police enforcement, you're tested on making right and wrong decisions in different situations, in different scenarios. Even in the military, which I know from my family is from the military, went to the military in several different branches. I can definitely tell you this from knowing, from experience, is there comes a time when you see that your commander or your leader is not okay. And you have to make some really, really scary calls when you see that your commander is telling you to do something that's not moral, that's not legal. You have to make a call when it's time not to listen to your commander or your leader. You can't use the excuse of following some unlawful orders. You can't use the excuse, I was just doing my job after that. Because when Hitler was rising to power, all of his little flunkies around him, you heard that a lot in a lot of those old interviews and stuff when they're interrogating these people, and they use the excuse of, I was just following orders. I was just doing my job. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me torturing people was doing your job? There comes a time where you have to make a stand where it may not end up well for you. But at the same time, you got to actually start to ask yourself, who do you serve? Are you serving man or are you serving the Most High? Because, yeah, man may take your flesh for not following his orders, but you don't follow him. My whole reason for making this video is on the news and everything we watch and everything we're seeing today, I see a lot of people in uniform marching up and down the streets terrorizing the people of America. It's our own people terrorizing us. And when they go home at night, they feel like, I was just doing my job. I was just following orders. I was just doing what I was told to do. There comes a time where you got to quit your job to do the right thing. I worked on a lot of jobs and I quit. I quit because I don't believe in what my leadership was telling me. I felt as though my leader or my manager or my supervisor was acting unlawfully. And if they wanted me to do something that was not lawful, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I worked at the post office years ago, and there was many times where my supervisor wanted me to deliver a package with no label on it. And my supervisor would say, I want you to take this box to, let's say, 1234 Main Street. And I would be like, no, Well, you do what I told you to do. No, I'm not taking this package to 1234 Main Street because it has not been scanned in. So that's unlawful. I don't know what's in the box. That's unlawful. And you're not giving me any written documentation about any of this. That's unlawful. So if let's just say I deliver this package to 1234 Main Street and it's a pound of drugs in here, you're not going to get in trouble. There's no written documentation for me to prove that my supervisor told me to deliver it. I'm going to take the fall for something you wanted me to do. So, needless to say, I got in trouble for not following orders. Well, my fight inside of that manager's office was there's no label on this box. So, when I was in orientation for this job years before that, everything needed to be documented. What time I delivered it, when did I pick it up, when did I deliver it, who delivered it, and who did I get it from? None of that was done. So I couldn't believe that I was in the manager's office fighting for my employment over doing the right thing. But I refused to back down, and I refused to deliver the box. I'm not delivering that. You put a label on it, you put an address on it, you scan it into the computer system, and I'll deliver it. I have no problem delivering the box the right way. All of this to say, there comes a time where, yes, you may lose your job for not following orders. In the long run, you'll end up better off. Because if you're following rules and direction from a supervisor or a manager that wants you to do unlawful things, you need to leave anyway. Just because you're in the United States military or armed forces does not mean you have to follow commanders that's telling you to do unlawful and illegal things. There comes a line where you're going to have to go to court and plead your case. And the way things are, as crooked as it is, you may not win. So the best thing I can say, look, for your soul's sake, say no. Because this little earthly journey that we on for our little measly 70 to 80 to 90 years pushing it, this is just a piece of the iceberg. You got more stuff to answer to once we done on this level. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. Our earthly level ain't nothing. We are like caterpillars on this planet, you know? We ain't even got to butterfly status yet. So what happens in things you do right here on this planet really count, man. How you do people wrong and how you follow orders. Man, all of that count. And it's going to come a time that you're going to have to answer for that. And just to prove my point, all of them people that followed Hitler, they still hunting them mugs down because I was just following orders and I was just following command is not an excuse for the atrocities that went on during that era. I was scared for my life. Nope, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. So, this goes out to everybody. Stop using the excuse, I was just doing my job. It's not an excuse. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. You're a coward. That's some cowardly shit to say when you know you're doing wrong and carrying out evil or following evil orders. You're a coward in a uniform. All these military and police walking up and down the streets terrorizing people. Kids is looking at you, man. Children are looking at you scared out of their wits. We got school shootings going on and everything else. And y'all, we got real criminals out there running amok. And y'all sitting here terrorizing normal, everyday, honest going citizens. We got criminals, school shootings, people is sexually abusing people in a park. They just unalive some lady, and y'all walking around patrolling honest to goodness people. But you'll go to sleep. The only way you gonna get some sleep tonight is you gonna have to tell yourself over and over again, I was just doing my job. I was just following orders. I'm gonna tell you this. PTSD ain't just about war. You don't have to go to war to get that. A lot of that comes from trying to tell yourself that you're doing the right thing. A lot of that comes back as you were just trying to do the right thing. You know in your spirit tells you you wasn't doing the right thing. You was wrong as hell, but you was just following orders because you wanted to fit in. The only way you get sleep at night is you have to self-medicate yourself enough so you can make yourself feel like you're doing the right thing. Now, let's not get it twisted. There's some sickos out there, and there's some weirdos that really do believe they're doing God's work. I'm not talking about them. They special. Now, I'm talking about the people that know good and well right from wrong. And I'm talking about the people out there that can't sleep at night because you know what you're doing is wrong, but you're following orders. I'm here to tell you, go open your handbook from whatever branch of the military or police that you're in, and go read that handbook and find that clause somewhere to tell you when it's time for you to make the right choice. The time when you have to override your commanding officer because they are acting erratic. That's all I'm saying. Anybody tell me I was just doing my job, get away from me. You're a coward. That's some cowardice shit to say. I was just doing my job. While you sitting there watching people cry and scream in horror because of something you're doing, but you was just doing your job just to make a paycheck. And then let me just solidify it with this. You don't even make enough money. They pay you like a peasant. They pay you like a freaking pauper. They don't even, the people that's telling you to do this evil shit is millionaires and billionaires. You're nothing. You don't mean anything to them, and you're following orders. You're following wicked, evil, illegal orders. And when it's all said and done, you know what's going to happen? Let's just say you keep doing this till you retire. You're going to retire broke. You will have nothing but horrible memories that you're going to have to keep trying to self-medicate yourself to get out of your mind. And you're going to keep till your dying day telling yourself that you was just following orders. Right now you're broke, following orders. And someday your life will end broke. And all you're going to have to tell yourself is you was following orders. That's it. You won't have any money. You won't have any popularity. You won't have anything that's going to soothe your pain. So right now, you like a lot of y'all, I'm trying to make a paycheck. We all trying to make a paycheck. I'm just trying to make a paycheck. And you want to know something? I ain't hurting nobody by doing it. I'm not trying to terrorize people by trying to make money. You could do anything and make money and make a living. You don't have to terrorize people. Because people that terrorize are terrorists, I believe. Whether foreign or domestic, terror is terror. Let me stop. But don't let me hear you say, I was just doing my job while you staring evil right in the face. Live Apartment 73. I love you, and I'm out. Shame. It's a shame it all come to this.